This is Enginuity. In this episode, Chevrolet revealed the 2015 Corvette, GT Series champions in Baku, and running with the bulls Volvo style. First, Chevrolet has introduced the most track-capable Corvette yet in the brand's history. The 2015 Corvette Z06 and its sister Corvette Racing C7R.
The Z06, which it's the fastest Corvette we've ever produced. Well, it shares a lot of the architecture of the aluminum frame, a lot of philosophical piece of what the regular Stingray that we announced last year and now got the award for really embodies. So it's taken the Corvette to a different buyer, to a different place, much more refined, really entering the exotic car market, and we're proud of it, proud of the teams.
The Corvette sells in quite good volumes for a sports car, and that's because it does a lot of things well. It's a great daily driver, it's a great long distance tour, good fuel economy, good luggage space, and then it's also at home on the track. So kind of any way you want to look at using a sports car, Corvette does a really good job.
This is the new Corvette Z06 right behind me. This is the highest performance Corvette ever. And some of the things about it that really make it more versatile than the previous Corvette Z06, that was a fixed roof, manual transmission only. The new Corvette Z06 can have 7-speed manual with active rev match and an all-new, designed specifically for the Z06, 8-speed, high-performance automatic paddle shift. And the other thing, we've taken advantage of this new aluminum structure, which is actually stiffer than the previous fixed roof coupe, and we're able to offer a removable carbon fiber roof panel, so when you're not at the track, take the roof panel off and you can enjoy a nice summer day.
The engine on this car is a 6.2-liter V8, supercharged. It's a new supercharger, very small diameter. It spins extremely fast and gives us great efficiency and great throttle response. It's going to be at least 625 horsepower and at least 635 foot-pounds of torque, so more torque than our previous generation ZR1 engine. We've got kind of taken an award-winning interior that we introduced on the Stingray and elevated for Z06.
7th generation Corvette race car makes its competitive debut at the Rolex 24 at Daytona, the first race of the new Tudor United Sports Car Championship. And we want to show you our new car right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2014 Corvette C7R race car. When you look at these two cars together, you can see the results of continuous technology and engineering transfer between the racing and production teams. What we learn on the track helps us build a better Corvette for the street.
Developed alongside the Z06, the C7R shares the same aluminium chassis, engine technology and body aerodynamics. It also sports direct fuel injection. As part of the GT regulations, it has modified suspension for wider tires and larger brakes. Aimed squarely at long-distance endurance racing, the C7R is scheduled for the upcoming Daytona 24 and Le Mans 24-hour events. So, you've seen how the Americans do it, now the Italians.
Rear Admiral Paolo Treu, the commander of the 13th Naval Group.
This is the place environment, the best place to present the Venom Roadster, the new car from Lamborghini.
With a jewel of Italian design and automotive technology, a Lamborghini, an iconic emblem of the Italian spirit in producing the best that consumers could imagine and require.
And it's a particular honor and a pride for us to have been chosen to represent the automotive Italian industry here in Abu Dhabi.
The Lamborghini Veneno Roadster made its public debut on board the Italian naval aircraft carrier Navi Cavour in Abu Dhabi. At 3.3 million euros each, only 9 will be built. The V12 Veneno Roadster accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers in just 2.9 seconds, with a top speed of 355 kilometers per hour.
It's definitely quicker and much more convenient to charge the car than to stop at gas stations every couple hundred miles along the way.
That's 17-year-old high school senior Alex Prell talking about the ease and efficiency of charging his electric car at home. John Uren, a college student, drives a Volt to school and thinks the argument about whether or not electric cars are the future of transportation is for old people.
I think everybody in my generation is much more open to the idea of an electric car. They see it just as a new technology.
Alex's father, Rick, isn't arguing. The economics of the all-electric Chevy Spark EV became clear almost immediately.
So I've saved quite a bit of money, probably more than I realized over the last 3 months since we've owned the car. You don't realize how much you enjoy not going to a gas station until you stop going to a gas station.
Punch in my code, my top secret code, push run, and I'm all ready to go.
Jeff Uren was one of the original EV1 owners in the 90s, and now he owns 2 Volts.
When I first got the EV1, you know, I was amazed by the car, but as I lived with it, I realized after a month or two, I'm not buying any gasoline, and I'm going to work and back every day and driving everywhere I need to go. And all I have to do is just plug the thing in at home, and I don't have to go to a gas station. My garage is my gas station. The Volt's an electric drive car with a big battery, and if you want to drive farther than the battery will take you, if you don't have an opportunity to recharge the battery, then you can run on gasoline and go farther. But the great thing about the Volt is you can plug it in anywhere because electricity is everywhere. There's always a plug behind the Coke machine or, you know, somewhere in the parking garage at work.
Chevrolet says the new Spark EV can go from 0 to 60 in less than 8 seconds and will save owners $9,000 in gas over 5 years.
Business, they say, is business.
It begins with Grand Prix racing being funded by technical relationships.
There is no room for sentiment here.
You had to work with the oil companies, the bearing companies, the tire companies.
One company meets another and they make the deal. Done.
Ferrari has always important, long relation with our key partners. Shell is by far our most important technological partners.
The only sentiment here is the bottom line.
I think that the magic between Ferrari and Shell is related to the fact that the two companies share the same values.
Here you've got a partner who understands you intimately.
But this is business on the stage of a grand opera, where the sea meets the meadow.
These two brands, these two companies, they share a lot of things.
Where the romance of speed fills the air.
When Ferrari set up his own team, he created something rather special.
Where partnership is not page after page of legally binding small print, but a history of togetherness.
I hate to see this business here today and gone tomorrow.
Stretching back through the ages.
It's nice to see a little old-fashioned consistency remain.
Good times.
Between a husband and a wife, there is one thing that is fundamental, that they are both happy.
Difficult times.
We learn to work together. We share long-term vision in terms of racing, and this is the best way to develop and to work with the Formula One engine.
500 times.
500 races is It's a lot of races.
500 races together, that's really impressive.
It's a long-term relationship that is only a good news for both.
500 times, 1,000 races.
It's not just 500 races, but it's 500 races with incredible amount of victories, championships, and everything together.
But this is a history built one by one on the first times, the first taste of a victory.
It was the most important race of my life, for Ferrari and for everyone involved in Ferrari. That last lap, as you can imagine, was something special. When I crossed the finish line, I could not believe it. I had the same feeling when I met the Queen on the podium. Life is strange sometimes.
This is a tale of a stressed machinery, of heat, and how to cool it, how to fuel it.
It's about coming together with the excellence of Ferrari in engineering, engine and aerodynamics, and the excellence of Shell in providing fuels and lubricants to really make that engine go the extra mile, trying to make a real difference on the track.
How to tame the creature and bend it to the will of the master.
The most important thing that I think these two brands, they look forward the maximum performance and the maximum technology.
Shell are right there, every little detail checking.
The science of a temperature regulation and the fuel injection made into the heart of racing.
The work we're doing together day by day to improving the fuel, to improving the power is so important.
The business of building beauty.
When you do something that you like and that is your life, you don't notice how many years are together because you just enjoy your partnership.
Business, they say, is business. But not when it is business like this.
500 races, many victories, many fantastic moments.
So many years together, so many passion sharing together, and so many success as well.
The Shell brand with the pressing horse is a good combination.
We're in Ciudad Rodrigo, an ancient fortress city with narrow winding streets, low tunnels and cobblestones. Volvo Trucks chose this location to put their new distribution truck, the new Volvo FL, to the ultimate test. How would it perform in a city environment, being chased by a herd of bulls? Professional bull runners and stunt people helped to recreate an event inspired by Spanish tradition, but carried out in a unique way.
One thing here is obviously a large-scale vehicle, but it's very dexterous and it can move around. It's got a lot of power. Its brakes are very, very good. But because we're putting it into unusual circumstances, so we have to practice as much as we possibly can before we come into the scenario.
How the bulls are going to react to a truck being in their run, we don't know. And obviously being a 1,000-year-old medieval city, the roads are a little narrower than what we're used to. Just very tight roads that we're going to be squeezing through with 8 bulls chasing us.
We've done many, many car chases and many, many film franchises. We've done Mission Impossible, we've done the Bourne series. So we're used to working with the vehicles. I've brought a colleague over from England to drive the truck because he's very experienced with large vehicles. So we're covering every option we possibly can to make the job as safe as possible.
The bulls have just been released from their pen, and I'm just matching their speed here. And it's hard left here, so I try and take the racing line, so I'm coming in hard on the brakes. So we're on cobblestones as well, so it's quite slippery, but the truck seems to just take it no matter how hard I throw it in there. And the automatic gearbox, just so easy to drive because I'm not having to concentrate on changing gear too much. A low cab height is handy when we come around this corner. And this section here is so narrow. As I come here, pull my mirrors in, and we just sneak through here. We come out the other side, and that's the end of the run for us. Exciting. There's a lot going on. We survived. There was a lot going on, but the truck helped us all the way.
Baku, Azerbaijan, arguably the historic birthplace of the petroleum industry and, by extension, all motor racing. Here, the street track winds through the capital, hosting the FIA GT Series Championships. Drawing massive crowds to this championship event is only natural for the climax of the WRT calendar. Audi Club Team WRT's Stéphane Ortelli and 22-year-old Belgian Laurence Vantour are competing for the prestigious title in this WRT event. A win for Vantour would be a personal triumph, not having won a title since 2009. With a rolling start, the action is on in the first chicane as drivers jockey for position, resulting in a series of close calls. BMW Sports Trophy Team Brazil spins, while Sebastian Loeb Racing number 9 runs out of braking room and misses the corner. Result? Audi Club Team WRT and Belgian Laurent Vantour take the flag.
Winning drivers of the Belgian Audi Club Team W. Asker Beşiktaş'ın vice-prezidenti Erdoğan Berliçok tarafından takdim edilir. Erdoğan Berliçok tarafından takdim edilir.
There's a checkered flag.
The driver's reaction to the checkered flag is instinctive. It's something they've been used to for many, many years of racing. The checkered flag means end of the session or end of the race. The fight is over.
The best part of the race, of course, apart from the start and racing and overtaking people, is when you're the first place driver to see the flag. So the checkered flag is one of my favourite flags.
There are many other flags available to drivers, and the reason why we use flags is for a driver, they're in the cockpit, they're low down, they're at 300 plus kilometers an hour, and we need a way of communicating to them that's clear and concise. One of the most important flags, it's the yellow flag. The yellow flag indicates that there's an incident out on track. It may be that there's a car stranded on the side of the road. Marshals may be on track. What it indicates to the driver is that they need to take care through the next section of track. The safety car is there to make sure that the race is neutralized, to make sure that the incident can be cleared up safely.
The blue flag can be really bad or really good, because if I'm being lapped, I get the blue and that's horrible. But if I'm lapping somebody, of course that's great, because it means I'm going really well and maybe I'm even winning the race.
The black and white flag. No one wants to see one of these. This means unsporting behavior. Flags are to drivers are the same as road car signs and traffic lights are to us out on the road. It's important that these flags are used for the safety of the drivers and the marshals on track, and they must respect those for everyone's safety, and that applies to the road as well.
Who came first?
I got it, no?
It was a draw.
You think so?
It was a draw.
I'm sure I was ahead.
I'm pretty sure
that
one. I think it was a draw. That.
Really?
We're happy with that.
Okay, let's stick to the draw.
It's a draw.
All right, that's good.
We will leave you now at the Vallelunga racetrack in Italy for the final two races of the Lamborghini Blancpain Super Trofeo World Finals.